Hey, this is Danny from Weird and Wired, and this right here is a Hondo II H732ML. These were made by Hondo in 1981 to 82, manufactured in Korea and based on a Gibson guitar from a couple years earlier in 78, the Pool, which was then known as the Firebrand from 1980. Now, the Pool, the Firebrand, the H732ML, they are a very kind of back to basics Les Paul. No thrills, no fancy paintwork, though that being said, this does have a pretty fancy body construct. We've got walnut strips here with an ash body otherwise, and it just gives a real cool racing stripe look to it. And it's got the same kind of contours here and on the back that the Pool and the Firebrand have as well. And it's just designed to be a very playable, good sounding guitar, nothing overly flashy about it in that sense. And I acquired this particular guitar from someone who had inherited it, kept it for 10 years in its case, and they weren't a player, so they just left it there really. So it's kind of been a bit of a time capsule, and it did need a fair bit of work to get it playing, so here's what I had to do. So as you can see, the guitar isn't in terrible shape, but we have got some rust on the strings and a little bit on the pickups. Not ideal, so just gonna go ahead, take them strings off and give the guitar a good clean all over. Next up was the strap buttons. They were both a little bit loose, and one was black, one was silver, so going with the rest of the hardware, I replaced them for two new silver strap buttons. And if you do have a loose strap button, a nice simple quick fix is just a matchstick. Pop that into the hole, snap it off, and it helps fill up the space when you screw it back in. As well as the machine head being loose from the headstock, it also had the wrong colour ferrule, so as you can see I've just popped out that gold one and replaced it for a matching silver. And the peg itself in the mechanism was a bit loose, but as you can see it's very simple just to take the back casing of the machine head off and just tighten that screw and you're back in business. Here I'm just cleaning all the dirt and grime off of the neck. I like to use a cotton bud for this because it gets in real close to the frets when you need it, and this needed it. The fretboard is missing a few fret markers, and the holes that were left had a slight dimple to them to fit the original dots. So all I'm doing here is using the drill bit by hand to make that hole flush so I can pop a new fret dot in there. And when you've got it to the right size and the right depth, just a little bit of adhesive, pop the dot in and you're all good. You can use some high grit sandpaper if need be, if there's a little bit of protrusion once you've put the dot in there. The bridge pickup was near enough a nightmare in every way possible. For starters, the pickup ring, one of the screw heads was so chewed up I had to drill it out to remove the pickup ring. The humbucker also had a very weak signal. Now it is possible to magnetize pickups when they do have a weak signal or a lower output than they should, but taking this pickup apart and seeing just how worse for wear it was, how much rust and corrosion there was, I decided to just replace the pickup entirely. I replaced the bridge pickup with something similar, which was a Vanson 59 PAF style humbucker. I think Vanson are great, they are so affordable and you'll be amazed at what you can get for your money. One of my favourite oddball features of this guitar is the control cavity and the fact it's just not been varnished or finished along with the rest of the body. The volume and tone controls were very noisy, very crackly. I used WD-40, just a lubricant to spray in there, turn the knob backwards and forwards, just clear out any grime and dirt which has got into the mechanism, and after a while it will actually clear up and you'll get rid of the noise. This is a way of getting some dings and dents out of your guitar neck. All I've got here is some hot water, a cloth and a soldering iron, applying the hot water to the area that's affected and then applying some heat. Now the dents and dings on the back of this neck were very severe and I knew this wasn't going to get it perfect, but it has certainly helped make it better. And with all those repairs done, the only thing left to do is string it up and give it a good play to see how it sounds. And there you go, that is the Hondo II H732ML. It's a Paul Firebrand on a budget, doesn't break the bank. You can pick these up depending on what condition for a couple of $100 really. And I think if Les Pauls are your thing, give it a shot, because I can't really floor it really. It looks cool, feels good, sounds good, does everything you want a Les Paul to do really. So let me know what you think. Have you played one? Do you own one? Have you loved it? Have you hated it? You let me know. Until the next time, keep it weird and keep it wired.
Weird and wired.